If you have added any plants manually or you've imported them from a list, those plants are not going to be matched to the online plant database, so you're going to have to match them. There's several ways that you can match plants to the online plant database. The first one is matching them one by one. If you see my list here, you can tell that there's no image available here and there's no cultural information for any of these plants in my list because I imported it from a Excel spreadsheet. It's a local supplier list of perennials, and in order for me to have images and cultural information, I need to match the online plant database. I can do this manually, but I can also match it to the online database to get the image and information for me automatically. The first way is to click on Match Plant, and it'll basically go across to the online plant database, look for an exact match. If it finds one, it'll bring it back. It'll show only the single match that it finds, and I click OK, and you can see that the plant has been matched and the cultural information has been updated. So I can go through my list, matching plants one at a time. If it finds a match, click OK. Updates the cultural information as well. I can continue doing that. You'll see sometimes you come across a plant where it can't find an exact match. It couldn't find an exact match because it didn't spell it that way on the online plant database, so I'm going to have to try to find one in the list. So it brought back all my achilles so I can pick one of them, and I'll just pick one that I think is going to match. I can even click on this. This is a link to the online plant database, so I can click on it and it brings me to the online plant database where I can actually view a picture of that plant plus cultural information. If I think that's a good close match, then I'm going to use that as my match, click OK, and that becomes my match. It doesn't change my name, it just changes the picture and the cultural information that should be fairly close to what I'm looking for. That's one way. The next way is to use the bulk plant match tool. Click on this plant match tool here to open up the plant match tool. It notices that there's 707 plants in my database. Click Next. It's going to try to find as many exact matches as it can. If it can't find an exact match, it's going to find close matches and let me choose which one's going to be best for the plants in my list. If your plant list is large, it could take a few minutes to find exact matches or potential matches. So there it's found all the exact single matches plus all the matches where it's found. So there it is, it's found all the single matches plus all the matches where it couldn't find a single match, but it found the close matches that I have to pick or choose the one that I prefer. So for instance, the ones with the blue check marks means these have single exact matches that match exactly what my plant name is. If I can't find one that has an exact cultivar name, I'll have to pick one that's close or leave it unmatched and find a match later on. Single match will work later on as well. So I'm going to pick I'm just going to pick the plain garden wolfsbane here for my monkshood and continue going down the list. Sometimes you can find there's an exact match. My botanical name wasn't exact as the one online, that's why I couldn't find it or couldn't match it exactly, but at least it gave me that one as an option. And I keep going down the list, picking the ones that make the most sense. So I'm just going to go through the list and pick all the close matches, and when I'm all done, click Finish. It's going to update my plant list, and when it's done I click Close. You can see that most of my plants now have been matched to the online plant database. Those that aren't, I can match them manually, or if I simply can't find a match for some of my plants, I can use the other option, which is to use a custom image. Say for example, I'll go down my list here, see if there's any plants that I know that I have pictures for that I can then use to match. So say for example, I've got a plant here that I know I've got a picture for, Velvet Night Coral Bell, but there is no match for it online. I can click Use Custom Image. It takes me to my computer, and this is my photos, my pictures. I've got a folder here with plant pictures, and I've got what I think is a better match or a good match for that plant. Click Open, and that becomes the picture that it uses. And this is the picture that it'll use when I'm inserting pictures on a drawing or when I'm trying to create a plant picture catalog. Whenever pictures are being used, in Dynarscape, this is the picture that it will use. And I can use a custom image for any plant, whether it has a good match online or doesn't. I can choose the custom image option if I prefer that image to be used.